Hello, people of Tube, and welcome back to my Stephen King Dario Argento review month. This film is a Stephen King film. Screenplay was written by Stephen King, and the book that it was based on was written by Stephen King. So Stephen King had a lot to do with this film. The movie's called Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet is a werewolf tale about a small town. It's about a brother and a sister who act like a typical brother and sister, always bitching at each other, always fighting and arguing. The brother's in a wheelchair. He's played by Corey Haim. If you know 80s actors, Corey Haim was, of course, a popular actor in the 80s, starring in films such as The Lost Boys, Silver Bullet, and this other one with Corey Feldman that I can't remember the name of. But the movie itself is a werewolf flick about how they know who this werewolf is, who the werewolf is, and they have to survive knowing this secret because the person who is a werewolf knows that they know, and he's always trying to kill them and stuff. And that's just a small part of it. And while we're watching, this brother and sister interact with each other and do be brother and sister. Their Uncle Red, comes in, and he's basically the only friend other than this kid Grady. He's a prick, a really big prick. He dies later. Just saying. Secret spoilers. Uh, their Uncle Red is played by Gary Busey, everyone's favorite crazy actor man. And let me tell you, does a great job in this movie of being a crazy uncle. Everyone has a crazy uncle like this. It is hilarious. Gary Busey is great in this fucking movie. He's awesome. Uh, Corey Haim does a pretty good job. Sister's pretty good. And the actor who actually plays the priest is very good also. And then a lot of the other are kind of goofy at times. The movie itself, it isn't extremely frightening. It has some good atmosphere going for it during some scenes with the werewolf. One of the best scenes at work with the werewolf and the terror that it brings would be the scene where he's firing off flares at the bridge and the werewolf is stalking him in the dark. It works perfect because I think that it isn't what you see that's scary, it's what you don't see. And that works perfect. Now, a lot of the times you'll notice in this film that there will be a lot of scenes where we see the up close of the werewolf's eyes, and it looks like a puppy dog in the eyes, and that kind of brings down the terror meter because you're just looking at a fucking regular dog. And the werewolf itself isn't too terrifying. Like, its head looks more like a wolf head. It doesn't have the terrifying features, I think, of movies like Dog Soldiers. Oh yeah, they looked like dogs. They also looked like werewolves, and their bodies are slender, and their claws were long, and they just look like they wanted to fucking kill you. This thing kind of looks like a big furry bear puppy. It just wants to give you a hug. So when it comes to special effects of the werewolf, they're not terrific, but they're not horrible. The movie itself, there's a lot of scenes and a lot of characters that kind of go nowhere, and that kind of brings the film down a little bit, in my opinion, which is weird because I actually really like this film. It reminds me of some of other King's works with children, like Stand By Me and a couple other like childhood films. And in that regard, it's a good movie. In the other regard, everything else just doesn't really work. There's a lot of characters that appear and then are dropped. There's a lot of characters that get killed off just because they're there. Um, there's a couple plot holes that were never filled in. Now, does that make it a bad movie? No, this is actually a better Stephen King movie that you can watch. It's better than a lot of the ones that they make about his books, but it's not terrific. I would have, like, before I rewatched it, I would have put this movie at like my number three favorite Stephen King movie. I fucking loved this movie. But now that I watch it you know, without nostalgia goggles and my own bias, it's not that great. It's decent, but it's not that great. So if you're gonna check it out, I would check it out this holiday season, this Halloween season. It could make for a good little werewolf marathon. So if you want to watch a good werewolf movie, throw that in with dog soldiers and um, American Werewolf in London, and I think you'll have a pretty good werewolf night. So join me for the next one.